Good morning. Today we're going to be covering the review day 1, which is algebraic expressions, equations, and inequalities. An algebraic expression consists of one or more numbers and variables along with one or more arithmetic operations. It is often necessary to translate verbal expressions into algebraic expressions. So what we're doing is we're reviewing what we learned from Math 1 to get us ready and to cover some things we're going to need in Math 4. So write an algebraic expression for each of the following verbal expressions. 5 less than. So anytime you see the word than, it means you're going to flip the order. So 5 less than, that means minus 5. The product of 4 and a number n. So product means multiply, so that would be 4n minus 5. B, the quotient of 2 more than. So more than means plus 2. And it's a quotient, so I know it's going to be a division. 2 more than a number, and is your division sign, 3. And finally, the last one, 4 more than, so that's a plus 4, twice r. So that's the same as 2 times r. So now let's talk about what it means to simplify. So sometimes algebraic expressions need to be simplified. An algebraic expression is in the simplest form when it contains no like terms, and no parentheses or brackets. So in other words, in order to have a simplified expression, there can only be one of each term, along with you have to get rid of a in parentheses. So looking at 2a, the first thing I need to do is distribute the 6. So it's going to be 5x plus 6y squared plus 18x plus 9y. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms. So like terms are here. So I have 6y squared plus 23x plus 9y. So the 5x and the 18x combined to get me 23x. And that would be the answer because now I have nothing else that is alike. On B, I'm going to distribute this negative first. So I have 3a minus 2b minus a plus 7b. Now I'm going to combine. So the 3a and a, negative a make 2a, negative 2b and 7b make 5b. Next, we need to talk about evaluating. So to evaluate an algebraic expression, we are going to substitute given values for the variables and use the order of operations to evaluate. Remember, that means first we do parentheses, then a multiplication and division, any addition and subtraction. So we have x equals 4, so we're going to substitute that in. It becomes 2 times 4 minus 4 times negative 2. So I'm going to multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. A negative 4 and a negative 2 make a positive 8. And I get 16. Over on the other side, so first thing I do is substitute in. So I get 4 divided by 2 minus, actually that's 4 divided by negative 2 minus a negative 2 squared. So 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. A negative 2 squared is a positive 4. So I end up with a negative 6. Let's talk about solving equations, and that will be it for today. To solve an equation or inequality means to isolate the variable, that has a coefficient of 1 on one side of the equation or inequality. Remember, if you multiply or divide by negative 1 in an inequality, that should be, you must flip the sign. So what is the difference between an expression and an equation? So an equation has an equal sign, and an expression does not. If it has an equal sign, and that means on the paper, in the problem, if it has an equal sign in the problem, solve for the variable. If it does not, just simplify. So let's solve these first two. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to combine any like terms I have. So on this side, I have a 16 and a positive 2. So I get 14 minus 4t equals 18 minus 2t. Now I'm going to move numbers to one side and t's to another. So I'm going to add 2t to both sides. And subtract 14. And finally, I'm going to divide by negative 2. So I get t equals negative 2. On B, first thing I need to do is distribute. So I get 30 minus 20v equals v plus 21. Again, I'm going to move the v's to one side. So I get 30 minus 21v equals 21. Move the 30 by subtracting it. I get negative 9. And now we divide by negative 21. So I end up with v equals 3/7. Let's take a look at the inequalities now. So on C, the first thing I need to take care of is I need to move the number to the other side. So I need to isolate x, so I work the furthest away from x first. So I'm not going to touch the 4 until my last step because it's right with the x. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And now I'm going to multiply by 4 to get rid of it. So I get negative x is greater than or equal to 44. And now I need to divide by negative 1. And when I divide by a negative, I flip the sign. So it is x is less than a negative 44. On D, first thing I'm going to do is distribute. So I get 18r minus 45 minus 3. And bring down the other side. When combine my like terms, when I solve inequalities, I always move my variable to the left. So I'm going to subtract 7r from both sides. And that way it helps me if I have to draw a number line to be able to draw it correctly. I'm going to add 48 to both sides. And finally divide by 11. So r is less than 4. If you have any questions on any of this, please send me an email, and I will see you again tomorrow.